The City of Witches, Episode 25. Cait in Love, Chapter 7. Ursula was coming back from school. She was planning on reading some manga at home, likely some catching up on Driller Man. She couldn't wait to see how the action shall progress. Suddenly, she saw some boy coming her way. She could not quite recognize him, but she was sure she met him somewhere. "Good, I found you," the boy said. "Ciao!" This greeting was enough for Ursula to remember that the mysterious boy was actually her dear friend. "Ciao, Giovanna!" Ursula shouted. "It is a surprise to see you here today like that, but a pleasant one." Then Ursula thought that maybe she should explain what she meant. "Do not misunderstand me. I meant seeing you in usual conditions. I did not mean your body." "Don't stress over it. I knew you meant that," said Giovanna. So it was just Ursula's mind telling her that if she can misunderstand the message, anybody else can too. "I am glad," Ursula said. "Although," said Giovanna, "funny of you to mention my body. There's a little thing I'd like you to help me with." "Oh, interesting," said Ursula. "Maybe I will be of better help than yesterday when Angelo asked me for help." "Angelo asked you for help too?" asked Giovanna. "Yes, yesterday," said Ursula. "He had a problem with the job with Cait, but I was not of much help. I could only honestly tell him that I had no idea how to solve it." "I see," said Giovanna. "Anyway, let us focus on your problem," said Ursula. "I really want to see if I can do anything here." Giovanna paused a bit to formulate what she wanted, what she needed. She tried to phrase it in the simplest way she could. Her friend would understand, for sure, but she needed some way to let it out her mouth. Finally, she had it figured out. She needed just to take a deep breath. "I want to come out to my parents," Giovanna said. "I know I want to do it soon, even today, but I think I don't have the strength to do it alone." Ursula was confused. Why would coming out require strength?" she asked Giovanna. Giovanna had to admit her mistake. She used the word twister without even realizing. Luckily, it was not a hard one to explain. "My mistake, I'm sorry," said Giovanna. "I meant more like strength of the mind, strength of will, or something like that." "Aha, I see," said Ursula. "So, would you like me to assist you in your coming out?" "Yes," said Giovanna. "And could we please do it today? I would like to have it all behind me as soon as possible." Ursula smiled. "Of course I can help you if you need it," she said. "Shall we go now?" "Yes, let's go," said Giovanna. "All right, I will join you then," said Ursula. "While we walk, can you kind of explain the situation for me?" "Sure thing." Ursula and Giovanna reached Giovanna's home and stopped in front of the door. Ursula wanted to ask her friend some more questions before attempting to enter and talk to the Alighieri's. "So, they have not said anything that might have sounded opposing?" Ursula asked. "No, never," said Giovanna. "Or at least I don't remember." "Not even when you answered that question about that singer?" "No, they simply joked that I should play in Who Wants to Challenge a Millionaire myself." "So there should not be any problem in telling them," said Ursula. "I know," said Giovanna. "I just have no idea if they really have no problem. I want them not to look at me in a weird way, but I'd also like not to hide anything from them." "Do not worry, we will do it," Ursula tried to reassure Giovanna. "There is nothing to be scared of. Take some deep breaths if you would like to." Giovanna listened to her friend's tip. Deep breaths in her masculine body and a dysphoria hoodie felt strange, but strangely comforting. "Okay, I'm ready," said Giovanna. "Then let us go." said Ursula. They were about to enter the house when they heard a voice from behind them. "Hi, girls!" It was Angelo. "Oh, hi, Angelo!" Giovanna said silently. "Good to see you here," said Angelo. "Am I interrupting something?" "Yes, in fact," said Ursula. "No, no, no, not at all," said Giovanna. It's fine, it's fine." "You know what?" said Angelo. "I think I'm gonna listen to the host." "So, what is it that brings you here?" Giovanna asked Angelo. "I've heard from Ursula that you seem to have a problem." "Yes, in fact I came here to consult with you." Angelo quickly explained to Giovanna his moral dilemma about the Keishi problem. He needed to hear her opinion. Maybe she could tell him what to do. "I understand," said Giovanna when Angelo explained everything. She then turned to Ursula. "Is that really this great problem you weren't sure what to say about?" "Yes," said Ursula. "Do you have a solution then?" "I do, in fact," said Giovanna. "Then it would be nice to hear it," said Angelo. Giovanna walked to Angelo. His answer was complicated yet simple. "You want to see your family, right?" Giovanna said. "Yes," said Angelo. "More than anything." "Then you should do it," said Giovanna. "Of course, let's not think of brute force just yet. Negotiations should be the primary solution. Give them one more chance to listen and use force then." "Hold up, Giovanna," said Ursula. "Are you sure that this is right?" "Yes," said Giovanna. Angelo had to think about it, but he thought it was a good idea. Maybe that was what he wanted to do from the start, but he needed some kind of a push. "Thank you, Giovanna," said Angelo. "I have no idea why it took me so much time to realize. Well, I'll get going. I want to finish this soon." As Angelo got away, Ursula asked Giovanna a question. "Are you really sure this is the right way?" "I'm not," said Giovanna. But Angelo needed any way. Ursula was eating dinner with the Alighieri family. There was lasagna on the plates. For Ursula, it was a dish that only looks good in the roasting pan, preferably one that isn't see-through, but has a good taste that it balances out the looks. Giovanna was stressed out. She was just about to admit to her parents that she is not Giancarlo. She still wasn't sure how it would turn out. Ursula saw how Giovanna felt and held their hand. That made Giovanna reassured. She felt supported. She felt strength to do it, so she decided to do it before she changed her mind. "Mom, Dad, I have something to tell you," Giovanna said. Giovanna's parents paused eating and focused on their child. "What is it, Giancarlo?" asked Miss Alighieri. "I've been meaning to tell you for quite some time," said Giovanna. "It's something important to me, but it may be difficult for you, and I know it's a hard topic to talk about and to understand, and I think I shouldn't say it to you in English, but the truth is I don't think I could ever tell you if Ursula wasn't here." She had to pause to gather breath and said the two heavy words. "I'm transgender." At first, her parents didn't react at all. "Could you repeat?" said Mr. Alighieri. "I'm transgender," said Giovanna. "I find myself a woman." Mr. and Miss Alighieri exchanged looks and chuckled. "That explains a lot," said Miss Alighieri. From the people in the room, Giovanna seemed the most shocked. "What do you mean?" she asked. "There were signs pointing to that," said Mr. Alighieri. "We just weren't sure whether it was true or not." "Like what?" Giovanna still couldn't believe what she was hearing. "You always seem to get along with girls your age better," said Miss Alighieri. "And to relate to girl characters in books and movies more," said Mr. Alighieri. "Also, you became quite interested in transgender history in high school," added Miss Alighieri. Giovanna couldn't process what just happened, but then she simply started laughing out of relief. She was glad to have it all behind her. I see. I told you there was nothing to worry about, said Ursula. Knowing everything that happened just now, I don't know how I couldn't figure it out sooner, said Giovanna. Do you seriously not even have any questions for me? She asked her parents. I actually do have one question for you, daughter, said Mr. Alighieri. What kind of question? Asked Giovanna. Do you need our help with finding a new name? Giovanna still couldn't believe how considerate that question was. No, I don't, she said. In fact, I have already found it. So what is your name? Giovanna,